I don't know what just happened. My phone is randomly playing Christmas music. Okay, can you guys hear me okay? That was so bizarre. I have never had that happen. I even got a little notification here. So weird. It was literally doing the countdown, and then all of a sudden it just started playing Christmas music. Turn that up a little bit. Looks and sounds good. Thank you, Nancy. I am doing this off my phone, hence the small little screen, because traveling on an international standpoint, I refuse to bring my laptop. And quite honestly, sitting here, I don't think I could even pack my laptop if I wanted to. So, but yes, Kelly, it just threw me off because I'm literally sitting here and it's that traditional StreamYard. You guys can see the logo up in the corner there. I don't have the paid version anymore, trying to save some money. So it's just that traditional countdown, and I'm like 10, 9, 8, cue the Christmas music. I was like, what the hell? My phone is in the mood to celebrate. I see Linda saying, I thought you forgot your laptop. Nope. I never bring my laptop on these international trips. So from the get-go, I had it planned to do this on my phone, and I am doing it through StreamYard instead of YouTube. That way I could kind of see your guys' comments a little bit better. I could see like Papa Smurf was the first in here, followed by Nancy, Diane. Like I could go through all of these comments and read your guys' comments so much easier. I see Naj saying Merry Christmas, Naj. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to everybody. So at this point, man, it's been a week, or not a week. It's been a month and a half since you guys have seen me. I just ended up taking a break. I see Captain Jack prepared to be boarded. Thank you, Captain, for the raid, as always, especially for not bringing the flashbangs and the tear gas. A raid is always welcome, but being swatted is something I'd rather avoid. So, to get you guys up to speed here, I do have my notebook, and I was working on writing my book a little bit earlier, but I also have some stats and stuff here that I'm going to be sharing. Tonight's live stream is going to go to the top of the hour. I was thinking about going for a little longer, but I'm quite frankly hungry, starving, and it is about a 10-minute walk to TGI Fridays. It is dark outside. It's cold, but I think I can safely get there, get some good food for cheap, because as many of you probably already know from Captain Jack's live stream, dinner yesterday was 2 Hot Pockets and a Twix ice cream, and it cost me $30. Not 2 cases of Hot Pockets, 2 Hot Pockets. So I see Papa Smurf asking, how is life overseas? I am actually still in the US for now. I am currently in Minneapolis. I won't say the hotel or anything for safety reasons. But I flew out of Ironwood, Michigan yesterday to Minneapolis, Minnesota, and I was visiting the Mall of America. I went to a movie yesterday. I watched the new movie Mufasa, which very, very quick spoiler-free review here for anyone that's questioning whether or not they want to see it. For months now, I've heard people like questioning whether or not it would be a good movie. I always question Disney when it comes to these things because I think it's more of a money grab. And I've already Like, since the movie's come out, I've seen a bunch of bad reviews and really nothing but bad things about the movie. It's absolutely bombing at the box office, but I just have to say it was phenomenal. And man, that is a whole speech by itself, but I absolutely loved it. And I'll just say, as someone who has been in Kenya on safaris, the attention to detail and the graphics was so good. I felt like I was back in Kenya on an actual safari again. I felt like I was right there. I did watch it in 3D. Typically, I don't do 3D. Again, don't think it's worth the extra money. Not a big fan of 3D movies, but it was just the icing on the cake to really make those graphics and detail just pop, and it looked so real. Um, and outside of Deadpool and Wolverine, because that was a huge movie, like years and years leading up to that movie, I gotta say, outside of that, Deadpool, Wolverine, Mufasa, best movie I've seen all year. It was an absolutely phenomenal movie. This one is not a cartoon. This one is live action. So technically, from what I was reading, it is a prequel to the live action of the first Lion King. I mean, I saw the live action remake. I don't think there's really big differences between the original cartoon and the remake. So either way, it works. It's a great prequel. Great. People were saying the music's not as good as the originals and stuff. On one hand, I can see that, but on the other hand, too, there's still songs today that are stuck in my head. I really love them, and I'm definitely going to be making a playlist because it's perfect. Hakuna Matata, without going into details, they do a great job doing some dedications and some jokes as well based on the previous movies. So that's all I will say about that because I don't want to accidentally spoil anything. But yes, Nancy was saying, good to hear. Love The Lion King. I loved The Lion King growing up. It was one of my favorite franchises growing up. So I was really excited to see this new spin and to bring a little bit more life, I guess you can say, to this franchise that's kind of just been sitting. And again, absolutely phenomenal movie. I see Kyle coming in. Hi, Kyle. Welcome to our party here. So, yes, tonight's live stream, we're going to go to the top of the hour. I see Georgianne, too. Merry Christmas, Georgianne. Thank you for stopping in. We are going to go to the top of the hour, 7 o'clock Central here. And I just have some statistics that I wanted to write down. Basically, a recap on 2024, followed by some statistics on YouTube specifically. I see Phil asking, you having roasted? I don't know, Phil. I don't know what I'm going to have yet. The walk is questionable. It's one of those things where I'm like, oh, great, 10 minutes in 23 degrees in the dark by myself. I don't know. It's just that typical anxiety I get when I'm traveling alone. But if I didn't think I could safely get there to the restaurant and back, I wouldn't go. So I do think I think it's perfectly safe. So talking about the 2024 recap, obviously I'm not in Peru yet. Like I said, I'm in Minneapolis here. I'm leaving to Peru tomorrow. So not in Peru yet. So this statistic is a little bit early. But after this trip, I will have visited 10 different countries on 4 different continents within a single year. 10 countries, 4 continents. Now, if you also want to talk about countries that I've technically stepped foot in, we're going to be at 12. Because technically, on the way back from Europe, I had a layover for 2.5, 3 hours. I think it was even longer. I think my flights got delayed and stuff. Yeah, I think it was like a 6 hour. Whatever. Point is, I was in Paris for several hours. I never actually left the airport, but just getting driven around the airport, I got to see a lot of the Olympic stuff because that was happening like 2 weeks later. Um, and I got some Olympic souvenirs, so that's kind of tourism type stuff, and that's normally how I check it off the map. But I didn't feel like it was enough of a justification to cross it off. So we do have Paris. I technically stepped foot in, and on the way back from this trip, I will be having a layover in Colombia. So I've been to 10 countries, technically stepped foot in 12, and have been to 4 different continents in 2024 alone. I see Papa Smurf giving me some reinsurance. Yeah. Even if I did, let's just say this, it's not like I'd have anything. I try to act like a local. You don't want to look like a tourist walking around. You got to act like you belong where you are. I see Kelly saying, I won't even go out in the dark alone here. Way too many homeless and sketchy people walking down the street. At times, I don't trust it. I have metal mesh on all my windows and bars on my doors. And that's trying to read the environment. Here, basically what I have to do is I have the parking lot right out here of the hotel. And then next door is a business with another parking lot. And then finally after that is TGI Fridays. So walking across 3 parking lots that are well lit, I'll take that risk. So yes, that's the travel statistics there. I kicked the year off in the beer capital of the planet, and I am ending the year in what is it? I didn't write this down. I just thought of it while I was talking. Kicked the year off in the beer capital of the planet, and I'm ending the year in the top tourist destination of the year. Out of everywhere on the planet right now, the number one tourist destination on the planet, and I think it's been a couple years actually, is Machu Picchu. And there's going to be 3 different cities that we are in during this trip over the next 9 days. Starting tomorrow, I leave. 12-hour flights, give or take, blah, blah, blah. 9 nights is what I'm going to be doing in Peru. 3 cities. During New Year's, I will be at Machu Picchu. That's where I will be. So pretty cool. Starting the year off, beer capital of the planet, and then ending the year in the number one tourist destination on the planet. And for those that may be curious, Peru is in Central Time. So I will try to do a live stream. Peru does have cell service for me. So I will have a phone, unlike in Kenya. So you guys might see a couple shorts coming through of scenic areas, stuff like that, just like I did when I was in Europe. And I might do a live stream in the city to celebrate kicking off 2025. Just like we did in Germany, I might do another live stream like that. I thought it was a lot of fun, but the catch is I'm on the same side of the planet this time. So it is still Central Time. So you're looking at 11 to midnight Central Time, questionable. I don't know. It's going to be a pop-up if I do it. So it's up to you. Are you going to be awake? Is it something that you want to check out if you are awake? Just putting that out there right now. because one of the best live streams, in my opinion, and one of my favorites, if not my favorite, has been the live stream from Germany. So I would really love to offer that again. I see Kelly talking about the mesh screen. Scrolling. A roasted chicken. Ooh, smeared under this. Ooh. Well, one thing I will say, Phil, let me pull your comment up here. Liquor. I do have one class. I already paid for it. They're going to be teaching us, how is it pronounced? A pisco sour. It's like a cocktail. We're going to make different cocktails. It's like a cocktail class, I guess you can say. Traditional classes. I did pay for it already, so I'm going to do it. But I probably will not be drinking much because, as some of you already know, over the last month or two, I've been having some stomach issues. Well, I'm starting to believe that it's because I have developed an allergy to alcohol. Now, my mother, for example, when she was about my age now, she started to develop her allergy to alcohol. And certain alcohols today will actually make her break out, and like her throat can swell shut and stuff like that. Right now, I just deal with like extreme nausea for the most part, some other small things. But because of all that, I probably will not be drinking too much or having any kind of alcohol, whether it's stuff with the food or whatever. I probably won't be drinking too much. Lou Becca is stopping in. Welcome in. I didn't think you guys were going to be here tonight. It is nice to see you. We were talking about you on Captain Jack's live stream. So yes, we have 9 nights in Peru. I am going to Machu Picchu twice. I paid for a second time. So I'll be going to Machu Picchu twice. I will have a pisco sour, like cocktail type class. There's, for New Year's night, we're going out to a fancy restaurant, and then we will be going into the main square. Like I said, we might do a live stream if I'm feeling safe and I have good service and stuff. We very well might do a live stream again. They're gonna have fireworks in the main square. There's a couple dances that they do to like celebrate, like kick off the new year and bring good luck. One of the traditions they do is they eat. I have to figure this out. I'm probably going to ask the tour director to get the correct answer since he's a local. You either eat 12 or 13 grapes. The idea is the clock strikes midnight, and from what I've heard, you eat 1 grape per month, and you make a wish for what you want to happen for that month. And then the 13th grape is, from what I'm researching, the 13th grape in some cases seals the deal, but in other things it doesn't say you need to eat a 13th grape. But that's a traditional way to celebrate the new year there, so that's what I'm gonna do. They also wear something yellow. Typically yellow underwear is what they encourage. It's brings good luck and good fortune and stuff like that. But it has to be yellow. Basically, the gist of it is it has to be yellow and it has to be new. So they have a bunch of street vendors there. And the tour director said, guys, if you don't have anything yellow, you don't have to worry about it, because they are going to have so much stuff for sale. So we're going to see whether it's a shirt or a hat or glasses. I've seen some glasses, or the underwear, whatever. We're going to buy something yellow, something brand new. We'll wear it that day to kick off the new year in a traditional way in Peru. Scrolling back up here, I see Papa Smurf asking who I'm traveling with. Yes and no. It's always a weird, kind of complicated answer. I'm traveling with a company called EF Ultimate Break. I've used them for Kenya. I used them for Europe. It's a great company. There are going to be strangers there. So tomorrow, for example, I'm flying to Miami, 2.5 hour layover there. And then I fly from Miami to Peru. I think there's like 7 people that are going to be on that Miami flight that are also on this same tour trip with me. Now, unless I meet them at the airport, I will not meet them until we are at the hotel in Peru. So this trip, I do share the room with only one other person versus 4, 5, 6. I share the room with one other person. He has not been active in the group chat, just like in Kenya. He hasn't been active in the group chat at all, so I haven't heard from him. I don't know what he's like, nothing like that. I will not meet the person I am sharing my hotel room with until we are in said hotel room in this foreign country. I see Phil saying you gotta have some, and that's the thing. I paid for it already, and it's the very last day of the trip before I fly out. I think there's like a farewell dinner after that class, and then we spend the night, and from there it's traveling back to the U.S. the next day. And I think my flight the next day is until 12:30 in the morning. Like it's gonna be rough on the way back. But we're not gonna think about that right now. It's gonna be a very rough travel day on the way back. But it is what it is. Yes, I've heard Peru is a very nice country. I've heard it's very photogenic. And as you guys have already seen, in some cases, I've learned a lot through my photography classes. I'm officially done with 2 of them. So I can't wait to go test out my new skills and post some pictures here. So you guys might get some shorts. You might get some pictures over the next couple days, the next week, week and a half, 2 weeks. So if you want to, make sure you hit that notification bell so you're staying up to date when those random pop-ups happen. Otherwise, maybe at the end of each day, just pop on YouTube, go to my channel, check it out, and see if anything's been posted for the day. I see Kelly saying, what if you can't stand grapes? I'm not the biggest grape fan either, but it is their tradition, and I want to honor that tradition. I see Naj saying 12 grapes is the tradition. Thank you for that, Naj. So I need to figure out how to get 12 grapes because we are going to do it the traditional way. So yes, kicked off the year in the beer capital of the planet, and I'm ending it in the #1 tourist destination on the planet. This year, I graduated with a programming degree, and I actually walked across the stage this time. So the first time I graduated from college was with a business degree, which helped get the job I have today. And I was living as a nomad at that point. So I was in Arizona and I was trying to determine how and when to get back. Well, the way things lined up, I made a decision that I was skipping my college graduation and going to Yellowstone National Park, a very big bucket list item for me. Absolutely no regrets with that, but because of that, I missed my graduation. This time, as a staff member, I actually dressed up as a student, and I was on stage with all the other students, all the other graduates, and I got to walk across that stage and get my second associate's degree. Outside of that, I also got a tattoo this year. I'm sitting here and I actually had a video I wanted to share with you guys today. It's like a 4 or 5 minute video that kind of recaps everything. And I actually missed putting photos and videos in of this in that recap video. I just completely spaced that was during 2024. Honestly, this year has had some ultimate highs from Europe to Kenya, and Kenya wasn't the greatest trip, but the fact that I can say I've been to Kenya, and that kind of kicked off my photography thing. And the last general accomplishment stat here of the year is that for the first time, my business is ending the year with a profit. And Kenya, while I haven't sold much photography stuff, it's helping that continue next year. So, really big things, but guys, there's also been a lot of bad stuff this year. From the Kenya trip not being what I thought and being very expensive, to my mental health, to losing my grandparents. There has been some extreme highs, and there have been, really, honestly, talking about it, this year has had my highest accomplishments, my biggest accomplishments, but it's also had my biggest struggles and my biggest challenges. So 2024 has been, unfortunately, the worst year of my life, but I'll also say that I've learned a lot this year. And despite it being such a bad year, I didn't let that stop me. And that is something I am very proud of. And I see Papa Smurf saying he's glad the year's over. It's been a hell of a year. Definitely has. Linda saying a profit is good. A profit is phenomenal. I really needed it. Kelly's agreeing 2024 has been a nightmare. Yes, some of my biggest accomplishments, but also some of my biggest challenges. And that's all I'm going to leave it on with that. Because I am on vacation and it's Christmas, so we're going to keep this a little upbeat today. Because that's what I know my grandparents would want. So we're going to keep it upbeat here. So now I have some stats with you guys that I just want to share because this absolutely blew my mind. So these first stats here that I'm going to read off are actually from December 1st of 2020 through December 31st of 2023. It is essentially the first 3 to 4 years that this channel, became a thing. So, in the first 4 years of this channel, I gained 710 subscribers. During 2024 alone, I gained 1,073 subscribers. Absolutely crazy already. 4 years of building and building and building, and this year alone was more than the last 4 years combined. Continuing with that, the first 4 years of this channel was watched for a total of 3,286 hours. We're going to take a pause here. I see Lily coming in saying Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you as well, Lily. Welcome in. Thank you for stopping in. We are currently reading through some statistics here, Lily. I see Phil's comment here. I just want to pull up too. Sometimes you got to go through the rain to reach the rainbow. The best is yet to come. Don't you know it, Phil? The best is yet to come. Let's just say that. So Kelly's comment too. Hopefully you have an amazing, unforgettable trip. Though, Colby, you so deserve it. Thank you, Kelly. Honestly, somebody was asking, are you excited about this trip? And really, I'm not excited. Call me crazy. I'm not excited. My anxiety over the last 2 months, after everything I've been through these last 2-3 months, my anxiety during these travels is amplified much more than it normally would. But it also has helped that, stuff is spaced a little bit more than it typically would be. So I'm starting to get back into the routine, and I'm sitting here like, you've done this 50 million times before. Just be smart. Do what you normally do. Follow your gut, stuff like that, and you'll be good. And for this trip, I don't know much about Machu Picchu. I don't know much about Peru. Go with the flow. that was the thing that I loved about Europe. I had some expectations. Like for Italy, I had expectations. For Switzerland, I had expectations. But everything else, I didn't have any expectations, and I loved it. It was the best trip of my life. Kenya was the complete opposite. I went in and I had very high expectations, and oh, this is going to be the best trip of my life. It's going to one up everything by tenfold. And oh my God, it wasn't even worth the money. And man, it was not the trip I thought it was going to be. So this time, I'm going in blind again and I'm going with the flow. So, yeah, going back to these statistics here, I'm sharing I'm sharing some statistics from the first 4 years of the channel, and then I'm sharing the statistics starting January 1st of this year. So the last 4 years of the channel, it was watched for 3,286 hours. You guys ready for this one? Again, the first 4 years of this channel, we'll round it up even. The first 4 years of this channel, 3,300 hours. During 2024 alone, my channel was watched for 21,503.7 hours. That means if one person spent that many hours watching my videos, it would take you nearly 30 months or 2.5 years to spend that much time watching my channel. Absolutely mind-boggling. That is such a huge number. 4 years, 3,300 hours, 2024, 21,503.7 hours. Continuing. First 4 years of the channel, 213,719 views. This year alone, we had 245,120 views out of over 3 million impressions, which means that basically my content was displayed to over 3 million people. I see Kelly saying, once you get there and find your spot of peace, you will absolutely love it. Absorb the history of those that walk the land under your feet. Speaking of walking the land and being historic, I have in my backpack back there, which is locked, so I can't show you guys right now. I brought the GoPro, but this time I also brought the headgear. So I could wear my GoPro on my head when we are getting tours of Machu Picchu, these cities, these tours that I've been getting. I can just record right off the GoPro, and my plan is probably to just upload the raw, unedited footage. So I don't know what will be said. I don't know what will be displayed. I'm going to be in a group with 30 other people, but I'm going to film these tours best I can. And I'm going to upload it. So for those who might never have the opportunity to go to Machu Picchu, you can sit down and watch this tour of Machu Picchu from my point of view right off my head and feel like you are there. Lily saying, sorry, I can't stay. Just wanted to say Merry Christmas and safe travels. Thank you, Lily. Merry Christmas to you as well. Kelly saying, oh, sweet, I can't wait to see that. I'm such a history nerd. I'm so excited, Kelly. Really, in that sense, I will say that. I am so excited about the history because I hate history. Fun fact for you. Hate it. Absolutely hate it. You guys might not know that, but I hate it. I always have. When I was in college taking classes, I was like, I'd rather drop out than take a single history class. So do whatever you can to make it so I don't take history. That's how much I hate history. But when you are in a historic place and you are being taught said history while you're there, and kind of like your comment before, walking on land of like history, those people walking there before you, just it amplifies it so much. So if I am excited about anything, I'm excited about not knowing anything and not knowing what to be excited for. So let's see here. During the first 4 years of my channel, we uploaded 556 videos. During this year, I uploaded 83 videos or live streams. What does that say? I don't know what that says. Scrolling through my notebook. Oh, here we go. So the first 4 years of my channel, I live streamed for a total of 62.6 hours. During 2024, we live streamed for 35.6 hours. So almost half. I see Phil, Machu Picchu is reportedly transformative. Have a wonderful time, Kobe. Thank you, Phil. Merry Christmas and happy holidays to you as well, Phil. Thank you for stopping in, and thank you for your comments. So the last couple statistics here I have. This year, 2024, during my live streams, we received a total of 4,177 comments being made live, like you guys are making right now. And then an additional 446 more comments being made on the videos, the live streams after the fact, or my posts. And my content was shared a total of 658 times. Again, just like taking a moment to really understand these numbers. 658 times my content has been shared this year. So if one person shares and one more person watches, that's just mind-boggling to me. Like 1,000 people just and the last statistic I have here, my top video, top performing wise, was Zach Zobiak, the one on Zach Zobiak. My top short was just me at the college going like this and showing a very short view of a severe thunderstorm in March. It was me being like, this is unheard of for the Upper Peninsula. That was the best performing short. And the best performing live stream was actually me getting my tattoo. And it was by a long shot. That was the best performing live stream. So yes, we have the best year on YouTube yet. Oh, the last thing, I skipped over it. I also became monetized, and I earned $22.19. Not bad. So for 2024, while it has been a year filled with my biggest achievements and my biggest challenges, on the side of YouTube, which ironically, content-wise, I wasn't pretty regularly active. In the spring, I had my seasonal depression, and, I was taking a bunch of classes and working a full-time job and trying to run a business, and it was massively taking a toll. So for the first couple months of 2024, I really didn't post much, if anything. Obviously, then I was gone for Kenya, so there was that stretch where I didn't post a lot. And the last month and a half, I haven't posted anything. So I do want to take a moment and say thank you guys because, again, a year being filled with my biggest challenges and my biggest struggles, I was not routinely um, active on YouTube as much as I usually am. This year, it's been a lot of pop ups and a lot of, I'm sorry, I got to cancel or I got to reschedule. And you guys have been very patient and very understanding every single step of the way. So thank you guys for that. Thank you for helping me make 2024 the best year for this YouTube channel. Um, yeah, for those who don't know, the truck got fixed. So I was able to get Rocky to the boarding shelter that he normally goes to. And I do have a video that I meant to post days ago, just to show you guys, but it's been so hectic packing my bags, getting ready to leave. But when we pulled into that boarding shelter, he knew exactly where it was, and he was screeching and crying and like he was so excited, guys. His tail, oh my god, his tail at one point, he like turned around and it almost hit me. I'm like, dude, you're gonna take my eye out. He was so excited to be there. So yeah, those are some of the statistics on YouTube. That's kind of a recap of what happened this year. Again, I do have a video I wanted to share with you guys, but I can't do it on my phone with StreamYard. So I'm just going to post it at some point here in the next week and a half. But we got 20 minutes here. So talking about the trip. I actually should have wrote this down because now that I think about it, I had a schedule and I can't open it up because it's going to close the live stream, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I don't think I could open this up. So I'm going to go off the top of my head here. Tomorrow, I have to leave early, and I believe because it is the day after Christmas, mind you. So the airport's going to be busy, and I'm in Minneapolis. It's one of the major cities in the country here. So it's going to be very busy. So you want to get there early. My flight leaves at 9. They say typically you should get there 2 to 3 hours early. Well, 3 hours early would be 6 o'clock. You know what? I'm probably just going to get up at 5. So it's going to be a very early day for me here tomorrow. I'll wake up at 5, go to the airport. Flight leaves at 9 o'clock. It is about a 4 to 5 hour flight to Miami, where in Miami I will meet up with 6 other people from my group, hopefully, because we are all on the same flight then. And we leave after the 2.5 hour layover. I don't know what time that puts me at, but 2.5 hour layover. We leave Miami. It is then like a 6 hour flight to Peru, to Lima. I might be pronouncing that wrong. I haven't looked it up yet to see how I pronounce it. But a 6 hour flight there, and I should be landing around 8 p.m. Central Time tomorrow. So it is going to be a very long day, and probably won't be posting much. Probably just going to get into the hotel because the other thing is, again, I have a roommate. I have not talked to said roommate yet. I don't know anything about said roommate yet. I will not know until I get there. So, one, I'll check into the hotel, and 6 of us are on this flight. There's gonna be others flying in later. So I don't know. I might go to bed early if I can. Otherwise, I might just have to stay up and wait to meet my roommate and see what he's like and go from there. So that will be tomorrow. I see Lubecca saying they have to go. Thank you guys for stopping in here. And, I might not go to the top of the hour, guys. I will talk you step by step, kind of day by day, to give you a rough idea of what this trip's going to be like. And then we're just going to wrap it up here. Because I don't want to drag it out to 7 o'clock if we don't have to. But move my phone a little bit. So, yep, flew out of Ironwood yesterday. Our flight here. Have been at the hotel all day today. Watched Die Hard, Griswold's Family Christmas. I've spent 2 times in the hot tub. Wrote my book a little bit. I watched Mufasa yesterday. The flight's tomorrow. Yada yada. Now we're in Peru. So Friday, we're gonna get a tour of the city. We are going to talk about some of the major things with Peru, such as where to get money, safety features, etc., basic stuff like that. We're going to meet as a group of 30, 40 people and meet our tour director, and we'll get a tour of the city. The following day, I believe we have a flight. It's like an hour or so. Yep. If I'm remembering this correctly. I really should have this stuff memorized. Normally I am. And that's crazy to me. A year ago, I would have been panicking like a month ahead of time about what do I bring? And I got to memorize all this stuff. And here I am in Minneapolis. I fly out to a foreign country tomorrow. And I'm like, yeah, I don't even know what the exact schedule is. I just have the gist of it. And I'm not panicking whatsoever. But I think the second full day in Peru, it's a 1-hour flight. You fly to another city that's closer to Machu Picchu. We'll get a tour of that city. We'll have a dinner as a group. Same thing as day 1, pretty much. Day 3, we're going to take a train now to get to this other town that's even closer to Machu Picchu. We'll go there. We'll see Machu Picchu. We get a tour of Machu Picchu. We get a tour of the town. And then moving forward, we have the new year at that point, I believe. So we have the New Year dinner, the fireworks, etc., that I've already talked about. We do have a class that I'm going to be taking on chocolate. They're going to actually give us cocoa beans. And from scratch, they're going to walk us through step by step how to make chocolate bars. And it was only $25, I think. So heck yeah, I'm going to be doing that. So we'll be doing that. The day after the 31st, New Year's Day, it's a free day all day. Except later at night, they have salsa classes. I'm not talking about the food. I'm talking about the dance. Don't know how much it costs. I don't know how it works because I'm pretty sure salsa is okay, you guys, anyone in here, 8 people in here still. Is salsa a one-person dance? Because if I remember correctly, I think you need another person to do the salsa. Salsa. God, I gotta see how they pronounce that in Peru before I get yelled at. But yeah, I think that would be really fun, and I'm looking forward to that. That's kind of right up my alley. So Linda is putting me in chat right now. That's probably what I'm going to be doing the day after New Year's, having a free day and doing the salsa, whatever. And then, yeah, going back to Machu Picchu a second time, and then we start making our way back. We have the Pisco Sour cocktail class, stuff like that. So really, there's not a lot of set plans. It's just general, you need to be here on this day, here on this day, here on this day. Here's a select few items that are scheduled. Otherwise, you have free time. Do whatever you have, whatever you would please. Nancy is saying you're usually partnered. See, now how cool of a story would that be? I went to a foreign country and, on January 1st to celebrate the new year, I mean, we're not really celebrating the new year at that point, but on January 1st, I went to a salsa class and I danced with a complete stranger, a complete local person. Oh God, it's already, I could see how embarrassing that's going to be. But yeah, we'll have that. We'll have the chocolate class I'm looking forward to. Yeah. Otherwise, as I was saying, I have my notebook here, and I mean, there's so much, guys. I'm not going to actually show you what's in there because that's a secret. But I probably wrote through half of this notebook. This is just my on hand, whatever comes to mind. So today I wrote, I think, 2 pages only. I don't even know if it was 2 pages. 1 page, 1.5 pages is what I wrote today. So we're working on the book, and my plan for the book is that I will have everything written by the end of next month, the end of January. I'll have everything wrote. So then at that point, I just have to go through and I have to format it, edit, add photos, etc., etc. And I do have someone who is also going to read through it, an English professor. He's offered to read through it and give me suggestions on my grammar and spelling. So I think that'll help. Something I've learned from my last book is that I could read through it, or I could have it written. Wow, I'm getting tired. I can have it read to me, or I could read it as many times as I want, but unless I have a physical copy in my hand, there's going to be things that slip through. Because when I first got a copy of the discomfort book, literally, first thing I did was open it up like this, and I went, shit, there's a spelling mistake. So we're going to do all that stuff, and July 1st, 2025 is when I'm looking at not promoting, but publishing that book and starting to officially sell it. So we're on this final stretch here, and as we get into the spring, you'll probably see some stuff with me promoting it. I want to do a live stream with a very special guest, someone that the book is being dedicated to. I want to try to do like a little snippet where I could read through a little part of it to give you guys an idea of the new book. So, these next really 6 months are going to be some big months, some big things planned. And you know what? I'm not taking any classes for the first 8 weeks of that semester. So I'm really going to have some more downtime to focus on my mental health, my physical health, and Rocky's health. And speaking of my physical health, a lot of you know that I struggle on these international flights. We will see how tomorrow goes. These flights are significantly shorter than the last 2 trips were, so I think that should help. I did buy upgraded seats to Economy Plus, which made a night and day difference. When I was flying back from Paris, I was in no pain because of the upgraded seats. So that might be a very big win there, and that might solve the problem for me. But also because I don't know if I shared this with you guys, sometime within the last month or so, without going into the details, we'll just say I had an epiphany, and now at this point, I'm like 99% sure what has been causing my physical health issues over these last 2.5 years. So me not being able to walk around and stuff like that, I think I figured it out. And over the last month, I've been trying some at-home remedies and certain things that would help with this said problem. And I am very, very excited to let you guys know that over the last month, I have been in little to no pain, very minimal. For the most part, over the last month, I'd say 99% of the time I have had no pain whatsoever. Knock on wood. But I've been trying some certain things. When I do start to experience pain, I will do what I need to do. And within 5 minutes, the pain is gone and I'm good to go for the rest of the day. Um, so some of that stuff I have brought with me for this trip. The other half of it, I unfortunately could not. So we're going to see how my body physically holds up tomorrow on this travel day. And, I'm going to be walking 4 to 6 miles every single day for like 9 days straight. Europe, it was like 10 miles a day, and I was good until the last like 2, 3 days. So we'll see how it holds up now that I think I know what I have, and now that I've learned kind of what's been helping me and what hasn't. So, some very awesome news and some very good news to share with you guys after several months of nothing but bad news. So, with that, I see it's 6:57 right now. I'm 56 minutes in. I don't really have anything more to share with you guys. And like I said, I am starving. So I am going to end the live stream here and I'm going to make my way to TGI Fridays to go have some nice hot food. And honestly, what I think is a very deserved, just relaxing meal. So that is my treat to me this Christmas. So, again, Merry Christmas to you all. Happy holidays. Thank you all for being here and for a great 2024. Make sure you keep your eyes peeled or hit that notification bell because over the next week and a half, I probably will have a couple pop-ups as well as a pop-up at New Year's. So keep your eyes out, guys. Till then, take care. I will see you all on the next adventure.